This episode of GuildCast is brought to you by Shutterstock for 25% off. All you got to do is go over to Shutterstock.com, make a new account, and make sure you use promo code Gamebreaker10. Go, go, go! Go.
Gamebreaker TV.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Welcome to GuildCast, episode number 91 for October 23rd, 2013. You're watching Gamebreaker. I'm Gary again, and coming up on today's show, the nightmare continues at the end of the month. WvW Season 1 is off to a slightly dodgy start, and a new map is on the way, all the more. But first, Bog Otter himself, Mr. Richard Procopio. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Excellent, excellent. What are you chainsawing on your shirt? What are you chainsawing?
Getting in the Halloween spirit, keep calm, and kill zombies.
Oh, yes. There you go.
Must do
And
that.
joining us, Mr. Matt Visual. How are you, sir?
I'm doing very good. Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right, so the Tower of Cliché, I mean Nightmares, is arriving on October 29th. So story-wise, things are a bit unclear. There's a massive tower hidden behind an illusion spell in Kessex Hills. It looks quite evil. It looks quite corrupted. We know that the Crate are involved in some way, shape, or form. It's near, what is it, Viathan Lake, correct?
Yes. Yeah, and what's really cool about this is they, the last patch when they put the Halloween stuff in, they actually snuck a few things in that wasn't really, advertised. You could go to areas of Kessex Hills and where there used to be trees in a forest, it's all like sawed down, just tree stumps. And if you go underwater in the lake there, you see all these bundles of these really huge logs. It's like, what's going on here? There's a couple NPCs you can talk to that give you some clues, but they didn't really kind of advertise it. But it's really the beginning of this next patch that's coming up. So I like when they sneak some stuff in there and let the players just kind of discover it and analyze it and try to figure out what's going on. So that's cool.
So it seems as if the Nightmare Court are there as well. Some quotes like, the nightmare grows. And
Well, they both share the word nightmare, but other than that, there's not really an indication that the Solari are involved in this. It seems to be pretty much a Crate deal.
I mean, Scarlett's just been chilling this whole time, doing these invasions and, feeling kind of lonely out there. She might come back and say what's up, because she feels neglected. You never know. It'll be cool to see like other creatures transform like the Crate do. Because the Crate has like this Gears of War Lambent look to it, like they're glowing. Have you seen like the trailer?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, that'd be cool to see other like races transformed by this toxic.
So you don't think the Crates are going to be teaming up with the Nightmare Court, possibly becoming allies? No.
Are the Crate intelligent? Like really intelligent?
I don't know if do they speak? I don't know if they speak. They're definitely. They're definitely really cool. I mean, I loved the Crate in Guild Wars 1. In Guild Wars 1, they actually had a lot of different forms to them. Some of them were more dragon-like. Some of them were more snake and naga-like. And actually, when you were attacking them, they would actually shape-shift into different forms and stuff like that. So I hope we get to see more of that with the Crate. I think they're really a cool race to have as a villain. I just don't know. We've seen so much Nightmare Court, and especially recently with the the Twilight Arbor. The Twilight, what is it? What is the name of the new dungeon? It's in Twilight Arbor, but we've seen a lot of the Nightmare Court recently, so I'm not sure that they would go right to that unless they're going to tie it in with Scarlet. But so far, we have no indication that it is.
What about I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but the tower at the start of the video, it's another tower, right? Is this two magical hidden towers in the same zone?
Yes, it is actually. Yeah, the Wizard's Tower is in Kessex Hills as well, which is quite interesting. So that's more like a floating, mysterious medieval castle type thing with, and we know that Wizard's got, I think it's in the lower right hand corner. It's called Wizard's Fief. that area there, and there's a wizard that has golems that are his servants, or elementals that are his servants up there. But we don't. It's all mysterious, and the townspeople down there talk about it, and it's one of the cooler kind of like what's going on up there features of Guild Wars 2. It's actually in Guild Wars 1 as well. But yeah, it's another tower in Keswick Hills. It's becoming a tower filled.
Do you think do you think the towers are connected in some way?
Like maybe you could take the airship from the top of the crate tower to the wizard tower.
I don't know.
Flying mounts?
I think it's interesting. There's two magical hidden towers in the same location. It's just kind of.
I mean, man, the tower looks massive. I'm thinking we're definitely gonna have to be able to go into it. Do you think it's gonna be like just one little zone, and just that's it, or like you may be able to go like on different floors and stuff? That would
I don't know.
Airships,
cool. Though. I'm liking the airships idea.
Yeah, man. Telling you, airships, dude. Maybe
use airships to get up to the floating wizard's tower. I don't know. Hello, Scarlet and her sky pirates.
I'd like it to be I'd like it to be some sort of like open world kind of mini dungeon thing, kind of like the Flame Temple tombs that you can do over in Diessa Plateau, but something that large groups of people can kind of go in and do together. But I'm not sure we're getting so much of it this patch. It seems like this might be like the start of a new story arc, and we're going to get more because they have the teaser page up on the website, right? And there's not a lot of stuff to it. They tell you about Marjorie Delacroix, and they're going to be investigating this crate thing, and the crate of hidden, the creation of this huge tower behind this veil of illusion, right? But they don't actually go into talking about, oh, we've got a new dungeon for you, or oh, wait till you see this epic boss fight that's in here. They don't actually have any of that on the teaser page, and it's either it's one of two things. They're either going to be holding that back so there's somewhat of a mystery when we log in that day, or it's going to be some living story things that are tied to the crate in this tower, and maybe in a next patch or a future patch they're going to have like a dungeon or something kind of special with it. So I'm not so sure we're getting a lot with it. What'd you say?
I definitely think they're holding back. Like they're not saying anything. Like all you see is a big tower in the trailer, and they're like, "Oh, what type of content would be in there?" I wonder, and everyone starts to speculate. Oh, what's going to be in there? I really think it's going to be like one of those JRPGs. Those JRPGs where you have to go from floor to floor to floor, and you can't save, and you die, and you have to start all over from the beginning. Like, but no, I don't think it's going to be like that. But like,
so you're thinking an unforgiving. You're thinking sort of like another Super Adventure Box take on something like that, like a mini game, and.
Oh no! I think it's going to be open world. Like, hopefully, it's not all instance. I really want this to be like some open world thing, like everyone wants it. I think even you said it, like an open world thing that we can just go inside of there and like do events and stuff and go all the way to the top. I wonder how that would work out, with the Guild Wars 2 stuff. Oh, how massive is this tower? I mean, really. But it would be cool. I can't wait to try it out. I'm actually a little bit excited to actually find out what's in the tower.
That's all we really know so far. We don't really know that much. I mean, as far as we know, no features listed yet. We do have some interesting rewards to go after. First of all, I think for the first time, this is interesting. What do you guys think is a new ability? A healing skill for all professions.
That is so interesting. I'm actually really happy they're going down this route because that's one of the things that they haven't really tapped into this huge resource of play here. There's rewards here, and it also can shake up how playing is done for all the classes. But having an ability that's across all classes is really cool. It seems what I'm projecting is it's a healing skill, because we haven't really made that clear. It's a healing skill that also removes certain conditions. And I guess it's going to be tied to this content. We're going to need to use it a lot. I'm not sure how much use it's going to see outside of it, but I think it would be really cool if they start adding more and more abilities, either universally or non-universally, as rewards to some of these patches we're seeing.
Yeah, so basically it's going to cure, just to clarify, it's going to cure yourself and nearby abilities of poison, torment, confusion, and toxin. So, like you said, Richie,
allies.
And your allies. Sorry if I didn't say that. Yes, your nearby allies. So yes, if Richie would look into his crystal ball, I think we all foresee a dungeon with a lot of poison, torment, confusion, and toxin coming our way.
Yeah, but what is toxin?
I'm pretty sure it's like it has a lot to do with like why
I'm
the
pretty sure it's
crick
in
looked that way.
toothpaste.
What'd you
It
say?
has something to do with the tower. I wonder if toxic is only for this tower, or is it for like outside of this tower as well? Like, is there going to be other stuff like, in dungeons that you will need toxic to to be removed and stuff like that, and you have to
Yeah,
have to coordinate like, okay, this guy's gonna throw out toxic, right? One person use their heal, and then another person use their heal every time the toxic throws out. Maybe that has to do with like some boss battle that's gonna be at the top of the tower.
yeah,
You
but
know,
whatever
that
it
boss
is,
battle.
it's going to be a brand new condition. We haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
So they added torment a few patches ago, which is a new condition. So toxin sounds like something brand new. I don't know exactly what it does or how it's different than poison, but it sounds interesting.
I think what's exciting to see, I don't know if you guys are as excited, but I mean, we talked about this, I think almost since like Guild Wars launch, was like looking at the Guild Wars 2 skill system. I always kind of thought it was something that, they could add to the way that they've kind of structured their setup. And like, we're finally getting to see that happen, which it's not the most glamorous ability in the world, but I think this might be an interesting start to see how they kind of unroll this and kind of keep this up in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that skill page later on in the year is just getting huge with a bunch of stuff that we can change.
Yeah, I anticipate we're going to, and some of this they've confirmed, but we're going to see more weapon types on different classes. That'll open up skills. We're going to see new weapons added to certain classes, and I expect there to be new elite skills, new utility skills added, and maybe even ways to modify different skills that you have. So I think it's definitely an untapped resource in their game development, repertoire, and I can't wait for them to start breaking it up, because it's really going to change the way each class feels if they start, giving classes new abilities or changing some of the abilities, and it'll keep the game fresh. I think it's important.
Chat room unanimously is just happy that it says new skill is greater than another back piece.
Or a mini pet, yes.
Or a mini pet.
Oh, gosh.
The last piece of info that we have about the update, if a new home instance or resource earned through the Tower of Nightmares meta achievement. So it's basically a place to charge quartz crystals or earn skill points, correct? How's that going to work?
Yeah, the first thing they added to your home instance was the quartz crystal node, and in this Halloween patch now you can get a candy corn node in your home instance. So once a day you can go in and mine those two things. This seems like they're allowing you to go into your home instance, and it looks like it's a place of power, which there's two things you can do at a place of power. You can earn a skill point for your account once, and then after that you can use it to charge up 25 quartz crystal into a charged crystal. So it looks like instead of going into the open world once a day like a lot of people are doing and making a charged crystal, you can actually do this in your home instance. So they're slowly but surely adding some reasons to go into your home instance. Hopefully they continue to do that.
All right, I want to talk about some WvWs, but first I want to tell you guys about Shutterstock. That is right, Shutterstock.com. They've got thousands and thousands of stock photography, vectors, illustrations, video clips, everything you need for your website, your YouTube channel, your guild site, all of that. I want to save you guys 25% off just by using the promo code GameBreaker10. And what have we been looking at over on the Shutterstock? They've got this new offset feature, which is pretty cool as well. We're going to look at some of the light boxes that we were looking at for some GB Nation epic pictures. So here's actually, I think we used this one. Yes, we did. This is actually on the home splash page of Gamebreaker Nation. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's our little kingdom. We did a little bit of alteration, but there you can see it. It is a close-up. But again, we needed a cool castle. We thought that it's our game. It's our Gamebreaker Nation. Where do we live? Started looking for medieval castles, things like that. Fantasy landscape is another good one you can look up. And there was the image that we chose. Here's some other options that we had. So, these are just great. You got a guild website, looking to maybe spruce it up. You need a good background. I love these silhouette fight scenes. These are great. We're going to use these somehow on the site, I'm sure. And this artist, what's great too, so when you find a good piece like this, they usually have stuff from the same artist. You can see a bunch of different pieces that this artist has drawn up. These are just really cool. A lot of tribal kind of stuff. And once you find if you're looking for similar pieces, if you're doing kind of an army website, that'd be pretty cool. So much stuff. Vectors, video clips, illustrations, thousands and thousands and thousands. And there is a plan for everyone's budget, every website's budget out there, starting at, I think, like maybe $29, download a couple images, or you can go with the monthly plans, all good stuff. Check it out. I want to see if you guys 25% off. Go over, make a new account. You don't even need to use a credit card or anything today. You just sign up, make a free account. You can start looking through all of the great artists and things like that, saving some stuff as you're getting inspired for your creativity. And then when you're ready to sign up, just make sure to use promo code Gamebreaker10 in the checkout there, and you're going to immediately save 25% off on your account. So support Gamebreaker by supporting our sponsors. Love, love, love having Shutterstock as a sponsor right here to make this show possible. So let's talk some WvWs. Season 1 finally kicked off this week, and the word of the day is queues. Unfortunately, that seems to be what I'm overwhelmingly hearing when I ask about WvWs at the moment. What are you guys hearing? You guys hearing the same thing?
Oh, I've been in queues for hours. I mean, hours. Okay, I'm on TC. So at reset, I mean, it was impossible pretty much to get into World.
How many hours? How many hours? We're talking like you said hours.
I waited about 4 hours, and
God.
I went and just did a couple dungeons instead.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, after 4 hours, I was just like, forget it. I was doing some other stuff in the world, but
now is this just because is this the overwhelming popularity of how they just didn't anticipate this many people signing up and queuing?
No, there's a limit. There's a limit to the number of people they'll let in.
Yeah,
so,
it's always been that way.
And it's always been that way. The problem is right now, season 1 is bringing in bringing in all the World versus World crew and pretty much everyone else, PvEers, structured PvPers who want to actually either participate or get the achievement. So it's,
that's what I'm saying is they didn't anticipate as many players being interested in this as possibly there are.
No, it's always been a problem, and it's always been a cap on getting into World v World. Tier 1 servers always had this problem. See, the thing is, if they let in more people, then servers who have more people will, smash the other team, or more lag. Okay, it already has lag. To add more people to that will add just immense lag, and that wouldn't solve the issue. So right now they have to kind of solve zerging and the lag with the skills and everything like that, and balancing World v World at the same time. It's that's why the Edge of the Mist is really coming out. So people who want to do World v World can do World v World, anytime they want, of course you can go straight into the Edge of the Mist if you want. There's an option for that. So I mean,
but right now,
what about this?
Rough.
What about players trying to get into WvWs? So the queues are crazy long, and the amount of players trying to get into WvWs. But am I right in saying that they actually maybe bugged players trying to get into dubs?
Yeah.
Is there?
So the queue. There's reports out there that 2 buddies will queue for World versus World at the exact same time, and one person will get in at a certain time, maybe 10, 15 minutes later. Another person will wait hours. So there's a lot of reports that go that there's just something wrong with it. Like there's been people that get disconnected, and you can get right back in, and there's people that get disconnected and they're back last in line again. So there's something inconsistent going on with the queuing system. The devs have posted on the forum saying, yes, it does not act completely like you would think a normal queue should act. We're going to fix it, but it doesn't look like the fixes are coming anytime soon.
That is what is scary. So there's confirmation now that they will not be able to fix this until at least 2014.
Yeah.
What? Yes, 2014, and that's confirmed. That seems a little out of control.
It almost feels like it's like, should they even say anything about fixes now? Because it hurts. It hurts. It's like, oh, Edge of the Mist will totally solve the issue. If you want a World v World, you can World v World anytime you want now because the Edge of the Mist is out, right? But the Edge of the Mist is not out. Maps look so cool. It's there, but we're not going to get it. And it's just like, I got to wait hours in a queue. It just hurts, man. Because he's like, oh, yeah, we're doing this. We're getting achievements. Oh, I'll just stand out here.
So what's the PvP community? How's everybody taking this? Is everybody just up in arms and kind of like this is not a great way to kick off season 1?
There's two sides to it, right? On the one hand, there's some really great matchups going on right now. Right now in Blackgate and Jade Quarry and Sanctum of Brawl, I mean, it has been back and forth just a couple points, like for days. It just goes, it flips overnight, but it's always been like within a few hundred points, and it's insane to see that kind of matchup and that kind of competition last for so long. So that's great. And it does seem that there's a lot of people excited to do it, and that's also good. But there's terrible skill lag, like Matt was saying before. There's horrible performance issues. Queue times are ridiculous. I tried to get in this morning. 3 of the 4 maps had a queue at like 9 a.m. Eastern time. Like, so I mean that's a little ridiculous. So it's kind of a mixed bag. I think people are enjoying themselves, or people are participating, but it almost seems like they would have been better off holding season 1 till January or February, whenever this, Edge of the Mist, which we're going to talk about in a minute, this new map comes out that would kind of is a little bit of a relief to the queue time issue, and also when they can actually fix these bugs that we're talking about for the actual.
Talk about the queue time again for a second. So even if the queue time is working for you, there's no estimated time of it finishing, right? So you don't even know.
No, you have no idea, and there's no kind of noise or sound indication when it pops too, because I've had that happen where I have them queued up and I might be playing Hearthstone or something else on my other monitor, and I don't hear a noise, and I totally miss it, because it's a pop up, it lasts for 30 seconds or whatever, and then you're done, and then you have to requeue again. So that's frustrating too.
And I mean, what makes this all worse is like this is a proper season. It's hard to just tell. And some in chat are saying, "Oh, it's 2.5 months, big deal." But it's like this is a proper PvP season. You can't just tell people to give it X number of weeks. I mean, players need to be playing as often as they possibly can for all the rewards of each matchup, right? I mean, that's
it's an issue. Yeah, go ahead.
You have something or no? I was going to say there's also some community issues too. Like there's a whole large influx, admittedly, even myself, of PvE players that are suddenly interested in World versus World. So stands to reason there's some hardcore World versus World people who've been playing that game mode for a long time now, that suddenly they can't get into their game mode because there's all these PvE players in there. And when they're and I understand both sides of the coin. I want to experience this new season thing too, but at the same time, these players have been playing this mode all along, and it's their cup of tea, and they can't even get in there. So that's frustrating. But there's also been a lot of strain. I've seen a lot of hate in map chat versus player PvE players. Like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. I've seen some bad comments. I've talked to some of my guild mates. They've seen some downright abuse towards other types of players. I've also seen stories of World versus World players actually adopting the PvE players. They've kind of taken the role of mentoring and say, all right, get on our team speak with us, and we're going to show you the ropes. So there's definitely some community interaction going on. Some of it's negative, some of it's positive, but overall, this has definitely been a hot topic for the past week or so.
And now the other thing that's happened. Go ahead.
It also on Reddit, this whole thing that Jade Quarry is going to win because of the matchups that ArenaNet gave them. That they have more, less gold tier 1 people. That there have less people and they have always lost, so they have more of those people than like Blackgate and TC and all those top tier servers. And there's some craziness going on between that Jade Quarry is just going to win because they have it easy with all the matchups. So I wonder what's going to go down. I really want to know if are people going to be right? Jade Quarry is just going to just win just because they have lower matchups than everyone else. I mean, sometimes in War of the World, like you go up against a server that just can't keep up with you, you just stomp them. I mean,
I'll say Jade Quarry is not going to win this week though. they may win the overall, but they're in 3rd place this week.
Right.
There's another, I don't know if it's the same Reddit thread or a different one. There's also a lot of talk about like all kinds of skill delay, desync, rubber banding, like, a lot of, and there's some of that all the time a little bit, but it seems like it's been significantly worse since the season started, right?
Yeah. A lot of people are complaining about it.
I'm wondering why that is, because, all right, so, I mean, they didn't add more people to the map, right? It's the same cap as before, at least we're assuming. So, and there might be tons more people in queue, but but should that affect the performance that much? I saw somebody on the forums suggest that maybe it was the change for, like, the buffing and the abilities affecting your party members first instead of just the nearest person. And maybe that has to do additional computations every time somebody uses kind of like an AoE type of boon or heal or something like that, because now it has to calculate, all right, where are the people in your party? Are they within range? And then, go through other people that are not in your party closest, stuff like that. I thought that was an interesting theory, but something is much worse, and I'm not sure if just more people being in queue should be causing the skill lag that it is. I grouped with a couple elementalists the other night for my guild in World versus World. They couldn't swap attunements. It's like that makes you useless. So I mean, we keep saying over and over again, how awesome would this be if we were doing this battle and there was like no lag? I mean, if you could really have full control of your character. I mean, you're fighting against hundreds of people on the screen. It's amazing. They just really need to figure this out.
How do you think this is going to play out what do you guys see happening for season 1? I mean, you also got like, broken queues, and that's another major issue. And it looks like we're looking at more like a 4-month waiting period until the new map fixes everything, hopefully, like we're hoping. But I don't know, because the way the season is set up and stuff, and the rewards for every matchup and things like that. I mean, I don't know. How do you guys see this playing out? Do you see season 1 just kind of being sort of a complete failure and just kind of chalk it up to a beta test period?
It may not be a complete failure. I mean, people are just not going to stop playing. They're going to be like, "Oh, we give up." No, because the other servers are not going to give up. Even if there's skill lag or anything like that. So there's going to be those people. But I mean, people are going to use this as an excuse, I think. Well, it's not really an excuse. It's a legit problem, obviously. But season 1 may be looked at as, okay, not the good season, and it doesn't count or something like that. At least within the player's eyes.
I think it'll just go down as a rocky start. I think overall a lot of people are enjoying this, and like I said, there are some competitive matchups. There are a lot of people interested in it, and there's some positive things that are coming out of it. It's just going to be a little bit rough around the edges, and hopefully season 2 is smoother with all of these new shiny additions. One public service announcement for anybody who's like myself, who's a PvEer, hasn't done much World versus World, and wants to get in and experience the season. Usually the people commanding big zergs around your map are on some sort of TeamSpeak. Ask to get on the TeamSpeak, or if people, a lot of times they're just advertising, please get on TeamSpeak, because they will tell you very specific things that they want you to do and not do. They want you to hide behind this wall. They want you to take supply from this place but not this place, and there's very specific things, and they get very frustrated if they're trying to lead a group and they have people that are following them but not listening to them on TeamSpeak and just doing kind of what they want to. So do yourself a favor and get on that and get to that learning.
Did you guys foresee her? Do you guys foresee a little PSA from the Bog Otter?
Yeah.
Do you guys foresee her any kind of like hope for some some kind of quick Band-Aid fix patch from ArenaNet, or do you think we're really just going to have to kind of just hang out and weather this storm and just kind of wait?
I think we might have to wait. Like I mean, it's not like this is a new issue, at least with the lag and everything like that, and the queue times and everything. I think we're just gonna have to wait it out and see what happens. I mean, I haven't got the skill lag as bad as everyone else, and I've been in the full Eternal Battlegrounds with it capped and everyone waiting for queue. So I guess it's only in some cases. I wonder if it's all the time or just sometimes. Maybe there's a stress on the servers. But I mean, yeah, it's. I think this fix is going to be a little bit later because they need to work out the kinks. They're not going to just put a fix, and if it doesn't work, people are going to rage even more, and it's going to become a problem. They definitely want to take their time and actually fix it, I think.
Yeah, if they find a way to improve performance, then that's really the only thing we can hope to see in the near future. If there is something causing this skill lag that's not related to the number of people jamming in, then maybe there's a shot at getting a fix sooner. But other than that, like Matt said, we're going to be waiting up for a long haul.
I wonder if the people who have skill lag have low-end computers as well, low-end internet. I wonder if that's part of the reason.
Well, I mean, I have huge internet, and my
Okay,
PC
yeah, so
my
if you're
PC is
fine.
2 years old, so it's not great, but it's not horrible.
Somebody make a mental
I still
note. That
get
might be the name of the show. I have huge internet.
I have
do.
huge internet. I have an internet this big.
I have huge internet. You like? I have huge internet. All right, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this WvW's new map coming. We're going to tell you guys about Audible. Audible.com/Gamebreaker. Sign up today for a free 30-day trial, and I want to hook you guys up with a free book. Today, I'm going to take a look at a classic. A classic which I'm sure many of you have read, but maybe haven't listened to. And that is J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, narrated by Rob Inglis. It's really
Bilbo Baggins.
I have that one.
Was the
Do you have this one on
fabulous
Audible?
Belladonna
Not on
Took,
Audible. I have the
one
CDs
of the three remarkable daughters of the
audiobook.
old Took, head of the hobbits who lived across the water, the small river that ran at the foot of the hill.
He sings all the songs too.
It was often said, in other families, that long ago one of the Took ancestors must have taken a fairy wife. That was, of course, absurd. But certainly there was still something not entirely hobbit-like about them. And once in a while, members of the Took clan would go and have adventures. They discreetly disappeared, and the family hushed it up. But the fact remained that the Tooks were not as respectable as the Bagginses, though they were undoubtedly rich.
Clocking in at 11 hours and 8 minutes. So basically, while you're waiting for one WvW queue. Sorry, I had that lower third up there. You could listen to J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit. Yes, pretty much while you're waiting. So there you go. Start today. Go to audible.com/Gamebreaker. Sign up, make an account, download the app on your iOS or Android device. And just by using that URL, got to make sure you got the /Gamebreaker there. You're going to get a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. And you can be listening to The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien's classic, The Hobbit, today. Audible.com/Gamebreaker. All right, so let's take a look at this this new Dubs map here. This Dubs map. It's called the Edge of the Mist.
Map right here.
This Dubs map. So the Edge of the Mists. It's designed as a way to play WvWs while waiting to enter the existing maps. So this is their fix. While you're waiting, you play the Edge. I don't know. It's sort of like, I mean, is this like, I guess it better be one huge lobby. I mean, how is this going to fix everything?
Well, they're just gonna hold an infinite amount of players. Like each like more players that come in, an overflow is made, an overflow is made, an overflow is made. It's kind of like a regular map, basically, that you just keep creating overflows over and over again. Hopefully, it's just like the overflows in PvE, where you can just join a party and you can join your friends' overflow, so you're not stuck in some random overflow. But this is supposed to be a place that does not affect World v World. It's just a fun playground for you to play in, I'm assuming.
But
So
now
it seems pretty cool.
my question will be, okay, so basically if it's every time the map fills up, an identical map is created and you're like, spun off into that. So you could potentially still be 4 or 5 hours in the Edge of the Mist just playing this map, basically.
Right, but it would fix the issue right now that we're having, that like there's a whole lot of achievements that you need to do for this meta, right? It's a 7-week long season, so some of these things, will take a while. But you can't even get in there now to even work on it. But at least this map, you could go in and you could rank up in World versus World, and you can unlock achievements by killing other players, and basically, get a lot of the PvE people would be just happy getting in there and doing their achievement section. And while waiting to get into the real thing. Now, if you're dying to get into the real World versus World...
But that's the thing, don't you think even if the map just completely rocks and is awesome, right, and it's a great map, don't you still think there's going to be a lot of people who actually want the whole point of this, they want to get into the actual WvW's map?
Yeah, definitely. I'm one of those people. And, hopefully
and I don't know if you're waiting 4 hours just because, like, hey, here's a map to go play on for the next 4 hours. Like, that's not... don't know if that's
and
really
it doesn't
a fix.
affect World v World. Yeah, it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. But I mean, if you want to play World v World, if you want to play PvE, PvP, then this would probably be the place.
I mean, the alternative is you're doing what you're doing right now. Is you're queuing up and you feel like you can't really do anything else, right? You can't, like, what am I? You know, so a lot of people just sitting around in Lion's Arch or sitting on TeamSpeak with their guild, just waiting. At least you could go in there. At least you could kill other players. At least you can, rank up your world versus world. You can get rewards. You can get achievements. The only thing it doesn't do is affect the world versus world score.
Right.
So, yes, I do think that most people want to get into the main maps. They do want to actually help their server win. But I think that
that's the thing.
That doesn't do nothing.
So I'm saying, I guess this is nice to have a glorified lobby to do something in the interim.
Yeah.
But
yep.
I still don't see that being the answer. Like what average person has the time to sit down for 4 or 5 hours and run this map just to wait for WvW to then get in and then play for another X number of hours that you want to play? Like now you're talking like 6, 7, 8, 10-hour commitment to try and even play some WvW for the season.
Well, the queue times they're bad, but I haven't had any 3 or 4 hours since maybe the first day. Like last night, 2 nights ago, I logged in and I waited a little over an hour to get in, and that was at pretty peak time. Now, the really frustrating part is I actually disconnected at one point, had to get back in the freaking queue. I mean, they have to fix that, but yeah, it's really terrible. But this new map, I don't know, it kind of does fix things for me in a little bit, because I could still participate, and I also like the fact that your screenshots you just showed off. They show some very different environments that you can't get in any of the world versus world maps. They don't have really like that overly snowy island or that floating island type feel. So I look forward to the kind of exploring that as well as getting.
All right, so this is a fix for Richie. Richie thinks it's a fix. Matt, what do you think? Is this a fix for you? Are you buying this as a fix?
I'd rather this, just like Richie said, I'd rather this than nothing, because right now, until they fix the performance issue with a lot of people being on the map, even though the culling thing, right? But it's still a problem that people are on the map. So they need to fix the performance issue for Zerg combat. They need to fix the skill lag. They need to fix how many people are on the map and how to balance that. Do they add another map so more people will have another map to go to that will affect World v World? Do they just keep adding maps? I mean, there's so much to really think about. Until they fix that, I think this is a good idea. Until they figure out a way to fix the performance and all that type of issues, definitely, I'd rather this and have fun doing this, because I think this would be fun. I mean, seeing a map like this that's in the air, tossing people off, kind of like 300, that would be awesome, man, for Sparta, man.
And Gary, I agree that it is kind of like a Band-Aid, right? I'm not saying this is the perfect solution.
Yeah,
but
I'm not disagreeing that this map looks super awesome and cool and that it's not going to be fun to play. I totally agree with that. What I'm saying is if the other issues, this is tied into so many other issues and things going on that if those things, you're also waiting till they're talking about just beta testing this thing soon.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying for a PvP season to be going on right now.
Oh, it's bad.
And this doesn't seem like this is like the answer. I mean, what is the answer? Like how because how are you going to have a proper PvP
The issue is
season?
this, and Matt touched on this earlier. The issue is the real fix would be to really tune it so that it can handle as many players as possible and just let everybody in. But the problem with that is then it's just basically population, right? The server with the most population wins, and that's it. They have to cap it at a certain point so that it's a fair fight, right? So that whatever the cap is, if it's 500 people per server on a map, and that's just a random number I'm just throwing out there. They can't just say, all right, it's infinity now, because if Blackgate's got 1,200 people on at any one time, and the next nearest server is 800, there's no way the 800 server is going to do anything. So I don't know how they can really fix this issue. This
it's a hard one, because in turn, if they let a lot of people in, then the performance issue hits. And there's a lot of people on the map, and people's PCs will fry. Okay, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are already overheating their PCs just playing World v World. So it's so many so many webs of issues that.
Well,
they
that's the
need
thing.
to
The thing.
fix.
I mean, am I reading this right? And the thing that scares me a little bit is like, so for the more like, let's just say, dare I say, casual player, you might as well just never even think about becoming part of the PvP season, because people who are camping out, like, and gonna win the PvP season are camping out. They got a lot of time. They're gonna be in there. They're gonna wait for the queues. And if you've got like not that much time to kind of like sit around and wait for this and queues and get in and actually play, you got no chance.
Well, if you're logging in on off times, it doesn't take that long to get into some of the maps. And this
Some
is
of the
only the
Borderlands
first
maps.
Yeah, the Borderlands maps. And remember, this is only the first few days of this, right? This is a 7-week long season. You know, if any of the scores start to kind of slide one way, if somebody starts to really pull out ahead week 2, week 3, you're going to see these queue times, let down. So I wouldn't
People just
panic.
give up.
Well, I mean, it's what happens in a normal week, right? By the end of the week, when there's somebody that's full ahead, you can get in. People are doing the jumping puzzle for their. So it's something that happens. So I'm just saying, don't judge everything for this first season based on the first 4 or 5 days. So.
Well, yeah, it's a rocky start. I mean, things need to be tested. I mean, how many Q&A guys do they really have to test this stuff? I mean, really, this needs to be tested with the masses. Even though some of these problems have been there for quite a while, still, like this World War season, they're gonna take this season, and they're gonna make it better next season. I think they have a good track record of making stuff better than their initial stuff. Living World being a perfect example. So, hopefully season 2 or midway season 1 is better.
Yeah, and they have an application that you can fill out if you want your guild to be considered for the beta version of this Edge of the Mist map. So go ahead and fill that out on their website too if you want to be considered.
Yes, like I said, they'll be opening up for testing soon. We don't know when, but soon. It'll go through at least the beginning of 2014 as a minimum for testing purposes. So go fill that out. Mr. Matt Visual, follow him on Twitter at Matt_Visual, and of course go over to his YouTube channel. Tubes. Richard Procopio, the Bog Otter. Follow him at Richard Procopio on Twitter, and of course go to Bog Otter, his YouTube channel as well. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, sir.
You can follow me, Gary Gannon, follow Gamebreaker TV, Gamebreaker TV. And if you guys are interested in signing up for the Guild Wars 2 wing of the Gamebreaker Nation, we are still looking, I believe, for some guild officers and event coordinators. So if you're interested in that as well, send an email to submit@gamebreaker.tv. And if you're interested in joining the Gamebreaker Nation, which you damn well should be, head on over to www.gamebreakernation.com. And you can apply and sign up there. We are bringing people in daily. Go check it out, the Gamebreaker Nation. We do the show live every, Wednesday. Wednesday at 6. I can never remember the day, man. They just all blur together. I know you're laughing at me, Matt. He's like, how does he not know what day it is? No idea. We'll see you next Wednesday.
It happened to me.
See you next Wednesday at 6. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great week.